Hello, YouTubers. Today I thought I would bring you a video that I know I have looked for, and because of the newness of the bike, there has not been a lot of comparative videos out there. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the new BMW 2022 Transcontinental. I am a lifelong motorcycle rider, been riding for 50 years or more, and have owned many different motorcycles and different motorcycle brands, from Hondas to Kawasaki's to Triumph to BMW's to Harley Davidson's, and probably several others I'm forgetting. In the last several decades of my life, I've mainly lived or ridden on touring bikes, most of those Harley Davidsons, and today I own a 2019 Road Glide Ultra with a Screaming Eagle Stage 4 Reinhardt racing exhaust and a number of other upgrades, including a Stage 2 audio system. I've put tens of thousands of miles on Harley Davidson touring bikes, but recently I decided I would reach out and try something a little different. And again, that led me to purchasing a 2022 R18 BMW Transcontinental in the Manhattan metallic matte color. I thought today I'd give you a little insight as a longtime rider about what I like about the bikes, what I don't like about them, and how they really compare. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you video of the bikes. You can look at those online if you care to, but they're very similar touring bikes, and clearly BMW has styled the Transcontinental as a direct competitor to the touring bikes that Harley Davidson produces. So let's just hop right in. I've put about 1,000 miles on the BMW since I purchased it. All of those highway miles, I actually bought the bike in Chicago and then came back down south where I live. Most of those miles, again, were on the highway. What did or do I like about the BMW? Well, let's start at the front of the bike and kind of move backward and compare them. The weight of the bikes are relatively similar. The BMW is about 40 pounds heavier than the Ultra. Sets a little bit lower, and because of the boxer engine, almost all of the weight, is right under the seat and very close to the ground. So even though it weighs more, the BMW actually is more nimble. Now, when you're setting in the garage, starting to move it, you can feel a little bit more of that weight. But as soon as you get rolling, again, due to the low center of gravity, the BMW handles better and does the twisties a little bit better, even though neither bike clearly is made for any sort of, land speed record through the tail of the dragon. The boxer engine, because of the huge heads, puts the foot controls in a much more mid or neutral position on the BMW versus the slightly forward position that you get on Harley touring bikes. And for anyone that is used to riding a Harley, you're going to find that to be a little bit, something also you just have to get used to. The clearance for both the front brake and the shifter, although both bikes do come with heel-toe shifters, is a little, I'll call it awkward for, at least it was for me as I began riding the BMW. A little less clearance, just not as intuitive or natural feeling position. But like anything else, once you ride it for a while, you get used to it. Because of the large heads that are right in front of your legs on the BMW, you have to purchase a leg rest that bolts over the top of those heads if you want to have that kind of highway peg sort of stretch that you get on Harley Davidsons. But that is available, and because all the heat's exhausted on the front of those big heads on the BMW, I didn't feel any kind of heat against my legs or ankles or anything like that as I rode. One thing you will notice, and I do believe is somewhat of a game changer for the BMW, is that it does offer adaptive cruise control. And that really, again, as I said, I believe is a game changer. It really makes cruise control down the highway nice when you don't have to go on and off and restart it and that kind of thing as you're moving up and down the highway. So that to me was one of the most significant differences that was a positive or check mark in the BMW's column. It does have all kinds of adaptive headlighting and fog lights, all those kind of things. But those are also available and work similarly on the Harley Davidson some motorcycles. The windshield was relatively tall and was right for me. I'm about 5'10", but it wasn't adjustable. Neither is the Harley, but you would think in today's age, particularly with Indian offering it, that BMW might have made that touring windshield optional. So if it's the right size for you, great. If it isn't, then the only option you have at this point is to buy the BMW windshield that comes on the bagger version, which is several inches shorter. The TFT screen, or the control panel, if you want to call it, on the BMW, the technology is extraordinary. A little complicated to get used to, but a 10.25-inch screen that offers technical and riding data along with all of your stereo and XM, all of those kind of features that again are for the most part available on the Harley Davidson, are there in a crystal clear display that is very well done. On top of it are 4 different analog gauges that also provide that view if you prefer that. There are some things about the technology that I did find cumbersome and, again, requires some getting used to, but still might be a little easier on the Harley touchscreen in some respects. And so I think the little wheel control that the BMW has makes it relatively easy for you to get in and out of menus and dive down into different levels. But nevertheless, it still is a little bit more cumbersome than just reaching out and using your finger and changing screens touch-wise. At least for me, it was. Also, I have heated grips on my Harley. They come standard on the BMW, but the adjustment, the changing the temperature on the Harley, with it being right up on the grip, is much simpler than burrowing down through a couple of screens to get to that adjustment in the on the BMW, which is also the same place that you have to go to change the heated seat temperature, which is again standard on the BMW rider and passenger. As far as the stereo system goes, again, for me,